Hello again, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I record these videos, the openings on Wednesday, and so we've just sort of heard that Maradona has just died, which is kind of weird. Um, I'm young enough to not have seen him, so obviously I can't relate to that much, but it's still a kind of I suppose, a sad day for football in general. I don't really have a shirt that's sort of related or relevant to him. I do have three new shirts, but none of them really have any connection. So I thought let's just open up this one and just go from there. This bag is the most unnecessarily large bag. Like what is that? There's just one t-shirt in there and it's massive. Anyway, let's get into it and see what we have, eh? There's that one. Is there anything else in here? No, because why would you? Whatever. Right then. It's an Umbro shirt. It's going to be a good one. Da-da-da. Ooh, it just looks good. Where is the opening? Where are you? Can't get into it. There it is. Screw it. Let's get rid of that. Right then, let's look at the rear. Ooh, this feels really nice. Colour's very nice also. So, who do we have here? Anybody have any ideas? It's kind of a unique design. And it's got a sponsor on the back that says Sikoob, though I'm probably pronouncing that totally incorrectly. So, it's Umbro, and you've got sort of a diamond design and styling across the back. I don't know if you can probably pick it up in the camera because I'm really not very good at lighting at the moment. Apparently the colour of the shirt is mint green, which, to be honest, in sort of real life I can see that. But whether or not it can be picked up on the camera, who knows? The shirt feels really nice, like really silky. Good quality. So this is the front, and you may recognise the logo now. Of course, this is the shirt for Chapecoense, who play football in Brazil. I think for most people who are outside of that country would probably recognise this shirt for the tragic plane crash that occurred in 2016, I believe, where the majority of the club who were on board the plane did die. It's kind of a weird video. That's twice now we've had two death references. Anyway, so I remember at that point there was a load of shirts that appeared. These sort of still Umbro ones, and it was like, it was the in thing, I guess, for people to be buying these shirts. But none of them really had sponsors, so I wasn't all that interested. Because I didn't feel too great about jumping on the bandwagon for sort of those reasons. I wanted to wait and just sort of get a shirt for this shirt's sake and not just to, have a story to tell, I guess. But for the shirt itself, this is the third shirt that was used last season, so 2019-2020. And of course they play in Brazil. I think they play in the second division now. I'm always confused. Every time I look at it, everything seems to change, but I suppose that's football. There is a relegation, etc. From what I read, this was inspired shirts from the 90s. I don't really have a background knowledge of Brazilian football shirts, but you can sort of see that. It does have sort of the 90s styling running across the front and the back. But yeah, all of the sort of logos, etc., are all heat transferred. This one is like a raised plastic, but it's again transferred to the material. You've got a standard sort of V-neck, little stylized with a bit of an inset. Shoulder sponsors, which is not too uncommon for Brazil. You have this really cool sort of like an authentication sort of badge at the bottom there. Umbro stuff, of course. Tag, which confirms that it's Verde Marino, which is green navy, or mint green. And again, it's the third shirt. So I bought this one from M&M Direct, which I did have actually referred to them totally coincidentally in my cheap shirts one. This is the second shirt I've ever bought from, so of course it's the River Plate that I mentioned in the previous video, and this one. So I realised that I noticed a shirt for sale on another retailer, and this retailer are quite famed for buying shirts from elsewhere really cheap and then inflating the price, which is fair enough, there's nothing wrong with that, but generally it means if they post something, it's somewhere else. But I didn't really think to look at this website, and it wasn't until sort of a friend on Instagram posted their version of this shirt, and I was like, oh wow, I was actually thinking of getting that, and he mentioned that he bought it from M&M Direct, and for whatever reason I just assumed that it was already sold out, because that's just generally what happens. He goes, no, there's still some left in all sizes. So I instantly went online and bought it, because it's medium. I don't know if there's any available now, they may have already gone, but I understand it was there for quite some time. They seem to rotate their stock every couple of months or maybe month, so I need to remember to actually check their website at least, semi-regularly, because they do some really good shirts for a low price. I mean, this was £25, which for any shirt is always, it's a good value. But the material is really nice, and it's not often I get to add Brazilian shirts, so that's another one to tick off the list. I do have 2 more shirts to open, and I did buy a shirt this coming week from a club store itself, so when that arrives, who knows, but that's a pretty crazy shirt. Of course, it's Black Friday this Friday, so maybe I'll end up buying something then, who knows. But for now, that's all I have to offer, really. If you've got any questions, of course, as always, let me know, and I will see you no doubt at some point next week with another video. So until then, goodbye.